Grace to you, good people over the world. Ezra chapter 1, verses 5, as we continue from yesterday's bread, God's agenda part 2. And we're focusing on the leader, the voice that God uses to stir up to lead you towards the agenda of God. So today, the KJV says, verse 5, then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin and the priests and the Levites with all them whose spirit God has raised to go up to build the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. So we began yesterday by saying that Cyrus was stirred up. He made a proclamation and told those who are ready to go to Jerusalem, go. And verse 5 is saying, now God stirred up the spirit of those leaders. It began with Cyrus. Now it is moving to the leaders within Jerusalem. Are you understanding what I'm saying? To go and rebuild the temple, God's agenda. So, let me start by saying this, that the same God that raised up the spirit of Cyrus to do his work, okay, stirred up the Jewish leaders living in Babylon to the benefit of it. It was God who began, and the same spirit also moved into the hearts of the leaders. His proclamation succeeded in moving the people towards the agenda of God. Ezra chapter 1 verses 1 and 2 if you read. So he put it into their hearts to set their faces Zionward to help rebuild his temple. It is God who put it in their hearts. So friends, if any good work is to be done, listen, let ministers lead it, owing it purely to the grace of God. Let those servants lead it. Let them be touched by it. If you're a pastor, let your ministers lead it. Hallelujah. If you're a leader in that house, let the children lead it. If you're a CEO, let those employees lead it. A very important principle. But they have to be stirred up from the same spirit that stirred you up. Am I really making sense? So, it is God who raises up their spirits to the doing of it by working in them both to will and to do. There is a will for them to build the temple, and there is a power for them to do it. That's just how the Spirit of God that stirred you works, both the will and the power to do. Am I really making sense? So every leader then should have a people under him whose spirits God has made willing in the day of his power. Psalms 110 verses 3. You must have a people, your very own people, who are willing, who are volunteers in the day of your power. If I don't have such people in my ministry, I don't care. God hasn't called me. Maybe they are not my people. So there are those who are my people. There are those who are your people. And your people shall be willing. But it starts with a stirring up your heart as a leader. And that same spirit begins to stir them up. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That's why as a pastor, don't fight with people. Come to this church or go to the church. No, let them go. Your people, no one can take your passion. Your passion is your passion. Your clients are your clients. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But are you stirred up? Okay, but you must have a people under you who listen to your voice, who respond to your voice because you have a commanding authority, because you are leading them in the agenda of God. God gives you power over men, not to enslave them, not to treat them harshly, but to lead them and to liberate them for the sake of the gospel or through the gospel. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So as a leader, you need a people whose spirits are submitted to God first and then to you by the will of God. They first listen to God first and then they come to you by the will of God. This is something that is very important if you want to be stirred to the agenda of God. Yesterday I was saying, do you have that voice? Today I am saying, are you stirred by that spirit? Are you submitted firstly to God and then that spirit that leads you to agenda of God? Are you part of what God is doing? What are you doing at church? Are you serving at church? What are you doing at that community? What are you doing at that workplace? Find something to do, especially if you know that God is in it, and you will be in it to win it because God is in it. So listen to me. Your spirit must stir you to give, must stir you to pray, everything. And as you do that, responding to the stirring of the spirit, I can guarantee you one thing, that the best is yet to come. And God bless you.